Hello. Welcome to downtown MoonTown Offline. Population us.
That's right, baby cakes.
Look at us. Austin, this is maybe the fourth different kind of perspective I think you put on the show. Because usually it's like
I know.
first it was on your bed with your regular kind of headphones, and then one time it was when you were like deep V shirt open on like a couch somewhere. And then you got these sweet headphones and mic on the bed. And now he is in a corner at kind of a Dutch angle with like this nice green.
Yeah, it's kind of a Dutch angle because I'm trying not to show a lot of my house because I know my parents don't want me to show the mess. Although you can kind of see it a little bit right there.
Yeah. It's nice lighting. It's green, but then there's like the red curtain. So that really pops. You know what I mean?
Oh, now it's normal lighting. I don't want to look at people.
Yeah. So hello, everyone. This is MoonTown Offline number 12. And we're currently doing. It is Friday, July 10th at 2:34 p.m.
You've already seen the cup.
Yeah. Already got the cup. It's got
Everything is in order. This is now officially a good episode.
Yeah. As long as we put up the cup and the timestamp, then it's like it's a good episode. That one episode where we didn't, that was a horrible episode. I should delete that right now because it was a horrible episode. Terrible idea.
Didn't you edit? Did you not edit it in after?
No, I did, but like afterwards.
Yeah, not as good. But that's definitely the best outro we've ever done now.
That is true. That is probably the only outro we've ever done. But
because it's like a skit. Is this working, by the way? Me looking at that.
No, yeah, that's working.
It's a little awkward. Maybe if I put you. There you go. Put you right there.
Oh, nice.
You're in the corner. You're so small. Hi, little Owen.
Hello there, Big Austin. You want to know this journey? Believe.
Raise a glass to MoonTown.
I actually saw Hamilton a few days ago for the first time. That was crazy.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah, I'd only heard like a few of the main songs, but nothing. Like I knew the first three songs, obviously, and I knew sort of the Schuyler Sister song, and then Battle of Yorktown, and then the two cabinet meetings. Those are the only songs I actually heard before going into Hamilton.
See, I had listened to this. So welcome to the tangent intro segment of the episode. In high school, when it came out, I listened to it on my phone, the soundtrack. But I accidentally, on YouTube, I accidentally missed the first song. So I started with Aaron Burr, and honestly, I think I was fine. Because I got Hamilton's motivation immediately in the next song. And I kind of gathered by him saying that he was an immigrant. And then after I listened to the last song, it went back to the top. And I was like, oh, I didn't really need this song. So, yeah. I also, I think I don't want to miss my shot. What is that? I think it's just called My Shot.
Yeah, it's just called My Shot.
Honestly, I could take out that first song and that song, which a lot of people really like those songs. I could just take them out and I'd be fine because that's too long.
You take out Alexander Hamilton and My Shot?
Yeah, I don't really care for those songs that much. I mean, they're fine, but not my favorite.
That's true. That's like a smooth transition though from Aaron Burr to My Shot though.
It is. I'm saying I would take it not out of the show, but out of what I would listen to.
I see. I get you. Yeah, I don't know why I never listened through the full thing because I've listened to like the full through of Dear Evan Hansen, Actually, except for the last two songs, because I cannot get past one of those last songs where the mom is singing without like welling up. Like I can't do this right now. I gotta figure out something. And I listened to the full soundtrack of Phantom of the Opera, like OG Phantom of the Opera, and that was incredible. And then I think I got 3/4 of the way through Les Miserables. But yeah, I don't know why I didn't just listen through all of Hamilton. I might have just been waiting to see it or something, or I had other stuff to do. But yeah, it was real quick. It was really. And what else can you say about Hamilton that hasn't been said already? Like it was really
You
good.
can't.
Yeah, it was really good. If you haven't seen it, like it's free on Disney Plus. Well, free if you don't count the subscription part. It's like, dang, that's just
I assume people would not want to count the subscription part.
exactly, yeah. So, you idiots out there who spent $3,000 to go to Broadway and not
You
even
mother truckers.
see the original cast do it, you idiots! All you had to do was wait a while, and you could spend like $7 a month to then watch the original cast like a year after it came out doing it. The cinematography, though, too, for the Disney Plus showing was really good too. It really brought you in into the actual performances. It gave you like a cool, oh, check out the circle thing they got going on. It's spinning. Like that was awesome. The direction for that.
Spinning.
Yeah. All right.
Spinning.
All right. I think it's
Spinning.
time to get off the tangent and let's get right into it. So last week we did if you don't remember, we did a ideal Justice League team. And that was where we had specific archetypes that we had to fill out, like leader, muscle, tech, wild card, outsider, rookie, that sort of stuff. And we had to make a story from that. So we're basically doing the exact same thing, but with Avengers. I didn't know if you added the magic archetype that they put in for the Avengers, but I did that.
Yeah, I used the list that they gave. They had not as much rules this time.
That's true. We threw our things together, and how do you want to do this? Like last time, we just go one after the other. We want to do you say your team, I say my team kind of thing.
My team is changing as we speak because I looked at it and was like, this doesn't make any sense. And then I had a thought, oh, so I thought of a story plot. And then I was like, and it was kind of with my original idea, but it didn't make sense the way I had it cast. So I'm going to have you go through yours, and then I will go through mine. By the way, for those that don't know, this is technically like a video response. Remember back in the day on YouTube, they had video responses?
Yeah.
Geek History Lesson did a video called Best Avengers Ever. I think we should probably edit the last episode. We should add the link to theirs podcast.
Yeah, I'll remember to do that.
And then we'll also add it on this one. So what they did is like what Owen just got done explaining. They created an Avengers team based off these specific archetypes and to kind of give a story pitch. We're doing the same thing because it's fun. Also, quick disclaimer. In the last episode, I said I was not in touch with current DC. But in 2017 and 18, I was at least, and 2019 somewhat, I was at least buying DC comics. I bought very little Marvel comics throughout those times. Obviously, I was aware of specific events. Like I bought Civil War II. I knew Captain America was a Hydra agent now at one point because of the Cosmic Cube. Spoiler alert, it was a doppelganger. let's see. So I am less in touch with Marvel than DC, which is why I kind of have to propose an event to then lead on to my Avengers team. That way. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one I'm more vested into. Like I'm guessing I certainly know more about Marvel stuff than you do. That's I'd say that's a safe bet.
Probably. Now that I'm out of touch, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like 55, 45 in terms of like Marvel. Like I know a little more about Marvel than you do, and you know a little more about DC than I do. So we work in tangent. The
Yes.
the yin and the yang. You know
The
what I mean?
yin and the yang.
Yeah. All right. So and also we only get one from the Marvel Trinity to put in. That is either Steve Rogers, Captain America, Tony Stark, Iron Man, or Thor, Odinson, Thor.
Was that a rule they had?
Yeah, that was a rule.
Oh, I did a U. I have none of them.
All right, great. This will be very interesting.
But I have them in spirit. So why don't you go ahead first, buddy?
All right. I'll go through mine real quick. My leader is, I don't think he's been an Avengers leader that much, but he is certainly a leader of a country. He's got his own country and he's got his own style. You know who I'm talking about, that wascally wild Black Panther. It's Black Panther. Black Panther.
Oh, okay.
Black Panther is my leader.
I almost had him on my team.
Yeah. You know, Black Panther, hey, you Wakanda forever, you know. And I thought he would be a very interesting choice for a leader side, because in my Justice League, I had John Stewart as the leader for my Justice League. You can check that out on MoonTown Offline number 11, and then come back to this so that you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I figured he's led a country, so in his mind, leading the Avengers, not that difficult, because you're dealing more with like the individuals than entire communities you're trying to trade with or negotiate or go at war with. But, you know, maybe these people will surprise him. I don't know. But yeah, and he's also technically my funder, because he's multi-billionaire because of vibranium.
He's also your what?
He's also my funder. Like the guy.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, they got either a tower or a mansion. They got one of the two. So my second in command is my strategist, which is an archetype that you should know. I had to pick Captain America. There's not much of a. There are very few Avengers teams that don't have Captain America, because his character is so cemented in the Avengers. He first saw them when he woke up. He was the one that led the second iteration, and he just has done so much with them. His name is like synonymous with the Avengers. So I think he would be able to like let Black Panther lead and step down, but also being like the world's best strategist, T'Challa would easily be like, hey, like stick around for me at least, you know? Like if I'm gone doing busy stuff, you got to be in charge for me a bit. Because I'll get to that part later. Captain America is my strategist. My muscle is also my outsider. We should also say one of the rules that Geek History Lesson put up was that either your outsider or your rookie have not been in an Avengers team, like ever. We should point that out. But
I like kind of cheated, but not really.
That's all right. my muscle outsider has I'm sure definitely been on an Avengers team. But I needed a Thor to get on this team. I needed something concrete in the Thor universe. I thought about Hercules for just a split second before I was like, gotta have Beta Ray Bill. Beta Ray Bill.
You got Beta Ray Bill?
Yeah, man.
I love him.
If you guys don't know, real quick, Beta Ray Bill is a space alien. Whatever kind of alien is there that has like a horse man, and he's one of the last of his people, and he was charged with protecting all the other people that are in like cryosleep on his ship that's called Scuttlebutt, and it's awesome. And
Scuttlebutt,
yeah.
huh?
And because of Beta Ray Bill's like cybernetic implants that he was given by his race, and also just being an all-around awesome dude, he's able to lift Mjolnir. But because Mjolnir isn't his, Odin ordered a golden hammer to give to him, and that was Stormbreaker. Not the MCU Stormbreaker that Thor has, and I think Ultimate Thor also had for a bit. But no, OG Stormbreaker, the gold hammer, Beta Ray Bill. He's got his own Thor costume, but he's still like a horse guy, and he's the coolest dude in the world. So I was like, I had to have Beta Ray Bill on my Avengers just to say I have a team with Beta Ray Bill. That's all you need, really. Now, next up, my tech is pretty easy. I went with Vision. Vision is a very long-time member of the Avengers, and is sort of like the backbone of the whole thing. And he goes in tangent with my wild card choice being the Scarlet Witch. Now, those two are married.
Oh.
They have kids and stuff. And even like throughout the years, Scarlet Witch has always kind of waned between the Avengers and the X-Men and her own stuff. You can see that in like House of M storyline leading into what's after that, like the Avengers versus X-Men storyline going into the Uncanny Avengers storyline. She's swaying all over the place, and she's got literal chaos magic as her powers. So, but she is not my magic. She's my wild card. Because my magic is a pretty swinging guy too. I wanted some more representation. And I didn't want Doctor Strange on my team because he never felt like an Avengers person. It's like when you put Spider-Man or Wolverine on the Avengers. Yeah, it's cool, but it's just kind of an excuse to be like, oh, we have like the best of the best on this team. So my magic is this guy named Brother Voodoo. Brother Voodoo is he's a former Doctor Strange villain turned ally. He was a Sorcerer Supreme for a while when Doctor Strange was out. He's Haitian. He's from Haiti. He has a degree in psychology. And, he does voodoo magic along with other kinds of stuff that Doctor Strange can do. So I thought he would be a very interesting deal into it. Like, Doctor Strange almost kind of goaded him into being on the Avengers. Like, hey, they need you. And, like, you should do this for a while. Like, trust me, they're cool. He's like, all right, man, I'll do what you want. I don't know how Haitians sound because I am a white man. But I thought Brother Voodoo would be a very, very interesting member to throw into this little party. And now, let's kind of go through this. My rookie also goes very in tangent with this story I am putting up. So my rookie is a little fish guy named Triton.
God. Triton?
Yeah. Triton, if you don't know, he is a member of the Inhuman royal family. So like Black Bolt, Medusa, Crystal Lockjaw, all those people. and he's basically like a fish guy. He's like the youngest. He's right up in the young age of Crystal, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. It's kind of unclear, but he's like Crystal's brother and stuff. And he's a neat fish dude. And the reason he's on is solely because of this story I have.
Okay.
Then I have 3 extras.
Oh, wow. It's a big Avengers team.
2 of them because I really want them. I want to see them done more in an Avengers stuff, and the other one goes in tangent with the story. So first up, I have the Wasp. I have Janet Van Dyne because, as every Marvel character knows, Janet Van Dyne is a real sweetheart. She's like right next. I'm taking an idea that was proposed in Geek History Lesson, that certain podcast. Her and Sue Storm really are kind of the moms of all the Avengers superheroes. Because you can go to like Wasp for Janet for anything, and she'd know what to do. She would be able to figure out what works and what doesn't. She would be a real strong asset in having that tie to the original Avengers team is pretty cool. And I really like Wasp, how she's done in the Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon as well.
Oh, she's fantastic in that.
Yeah. And my second extra is a woman that isn't done as much. That would be She-Hulk.
Ooh, okay. I almost put her on my team.
Yeah, She-Hulk is Jennifer Walters, Bruce Banner's cousin, who got a blood transfusion from him post-Hulk. So now she is She-Hulk, but she has a lot more control over her green state. She's usually in the green state, and like she's a lawyer. So she would be like the lawyer for the Avengers, and she's usually the lawyer for all other superhero people. And plus, like, you need a Hulk on the team. So I thought she would be awesome. And my final extra is Johnny Storm, the Human Torch.
I had him for a split second.
Yeah, I thought about putting him on the Rookie, but that's a lie. No. Human Torch came in a little later as I was fleshing out this story. Like, I kind of want him to be a part of this team. I want him and like trying to kind of clash a bit. So that's my full team. Leader is Black Panther. My strategist is Captain America. My muscle and outsider is Beta Ray Bill. My tech and my wild card are Vision and the Scarlet Witch. My magic is Brother Voodoo. My rookie is Triton. And I also have Wasp, She-Hulk, and the Human Torch.
All right. So, do you have a name for those Avengers, or is that spoiler for the story?
Not exactly. It's really just the Avengers.
All right.
We're gonna actually we're gonna take a little break for a second for a commercial.
Commercial break.
We'll see you in just a bit.
Break right now.
Hi, may I help you?
I want an original recipe. I want extra crispy.
Heidi wants extra crispy and Becky wants original recipe.
To get your chicken different ways, come to Kentucky Fried Chicken. Only we can give you both kinds of finger-licking good fresh chicken.
Here's your original recipe, Becky.
I'm Heidi and I want extra crispy.
You're Becky?
It's so nice to feel so good about a meal, so good about Kentucky Fried Chicken.
And we're back. We're back here with some more MoonTown Offline. Get that Coke in your system, because Austin, it is your turn.
Oh boy, really?
Yeah, you. Tell me what your team is.
All right. Well, first off, I noted earlier that in spirit, the Marvel Trinity, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America are there in spirit. Now, I had to do a little research. So my leader has led, I think he might have led, a specific team of the Avengers before. But it is none other than Sam Wilson, the Falcon. Now, I was going to just make him Captain America, but that seemed to go against his own wishes. because he quit being called Captain America after some political stuff. So, but he does eventually take on the leading role of this team, but he will remain Falcon. But he's the Captain America attribute. Now, using all of the terms they gave in this episode, I don't have a strategist, and my brute is known as Muscle Immortal. So my Muscle Immortal is Angela. Do you know who that is? She's a redhead character, originally from Spawn. Marvel bought the rights to the character. There was a whole debate with Neil Gaiman and everything. And they made her Thor's older sister. Now, you might be wondering, but Austin, I watched Ragnarok. His older sister is Hela. Not in the comics. In the comics, his older sister was Angela, which made me sad that we couldn't have Angela as herself in the comics, but I'll deal with that. Yeah. She is actually she was part of the 10th realm, which is the heavens, and now she's kind of coming around doing her thing. She was with the Guardians of the Galaxy for a while, so she knows some space stuff. So she's like my very loose connection to the Guardians of the Galaxy, because I almost put Rocket and Groot in here, but I didn't.
Yeah. They don't really seem Avengers types.
No, they don't, which is unfortunate. So we have Falcon and then Angela. So Angela's kind of like the Thor analog, because it's his sister.
Yeah.
Not as physically strong, but I mean, at that point, it's got to be like just slight differences. Like I think it said she was able to keep toe-to-toe with like a slightly weary and tired Thor. But, I mean, she's pretty great nonetheless. And she's also like essentially also kind of like a Wonder Woman in terms of her fighting style.
All right.
So, Owen, part of my pitch is that while this is the Avengers, I also have in spirit the Champions and the new Avengers. I have some of their teams members on this team, because this Avengers will also be taking those and like lifting them up into like normal Avengers status, just to see if they're ready, to give them a place to grow. Because, we have to find out what happened to the other Avengers team. Where did they go? I don't know. But my tech is Ironheart.
Yeah. That girl.
Because she apparently needs room for development. So, make her part of a team.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about her, except for that she exists. There aren't really any prominent things that she does.
Yeah. I thought it'd be nice to give her more of a shot.
We'll consider of you, looking out for the little kids.
I know, right? Anyways, my rebel from one point of a new Avenger is Hawkeye Kate Bishop. So I had no idea. I had a rebel, but now they're my. Wait a minute. Where's my phone? There it is. Am I missing someone? Did I take them out? Yeah, I forgot to write down my wild card. It's okay. Just keeps calm. And distract them.
Whoa! Look at me! I've got this calendar of Disney things. Check it out. The Fox and the Hound is today from 1981. The description here, it says, young Cooper discovers that the new scent he's been following belongs to a friendly little fox named Tom.
All right, Owen, I got them. They don't even know what happened, all right? They still think I'm talking about Ironheart and Kate Bishop. Anyway, so after Kate Bishop, so she's like taking a step up to the big leagues, and I think she might have done that already, but Hawkeye at one point expressed that he's like ready for her to kind of just take over the role. So let's put her out there. And we need someone that's more street level. Like, I guess you can argue Iron Man technically could be a street level hero, but he's smart enough and tacky savvy enough that he can deal with higher level threats, right? And Kate Bishop is working her way towards that. So she's like, so we have someone that's like kind of street level status, but raising them up. My magic character is the exact word that I just said. It is magic. Colossus's little sister.
Magic, yeah.
Magic. She has the big sword, and she can use magic. I played as her in like Marvel Omega, which existed at one point, and she just seemed really cool. She was also in a pocket dimension. She was Sorcerer Supreme of that dimension, and then she was able to use some of those powers in this dimension. And I'm like, okay, well, let's get, because I had Wiccan for a little bit. I had magic, and then I took out magic. I'm like, Wiccan makes more sense. And I was like, but I really like magic, so I'm going to put magic in there. She just seems really cool. She adds more diversity to the team. She's like, I don't know, I feel like she can kind of get boosted up in terms of story. Yeah, so Owen, magic is my magic character. My outsider has not been on the Avengers, but I think in the Avengers Academy for a little bit or whatever. So you said earlier that, putting Spider-Man and Wolverine is kind of like, that doesn't really make sense.
At least that's how I feel.
But what if it's not Logan? What if it's his daughter, Laura Kinney?
X-23.
Yep, previously known as X-23, and then Wolverine, then X-23. Now she's Wolverine again. And you know what? This team needs people to solve problems of various degrees. So we need Wolverine. So we have Wolverine, Laura Kinney as my outsider. I'd say she has a pretty good spotlight right now. So this isn't trying to bolster her at all. But this is to kind of just get more X-Men. So now we have 2 X-Men on the team, but that's it. That's the last X-Men representation that we're going to get. And I also wanted some X-Men representation because story ideas. Next, my wild card, I just said you can't put Wolverine and Spider-Man on a team, but I put Superior Spider-Man on the team.
How did I know?
Displaced from time yet again. It is Otto Octavius inside of Peter Parker's body. The Superior Spider-Man. Now, if the higher-ups told me, hey, you can't have him there, I would say, all right, you can give me either Kane as Scarlet Spider, or you can give me Spider-Man 2099. But I really want Otto because, A, it'd be interesting to see how he reacts with Ironheart because they're both tech people. So it's like, what are they going to do? And also, I'm a big fan of the direction they were taking Otto Octavius, and I want to just see, I just want to see him not become a bad guy because I liked it a lot. Like I said, I almost had Lex Luthor in my Justice League, and then they made him a villain again, and I was like, damn it. So I have Superior Spider-Man because he's great, and also he's like him and Wolverine, Laura Kinney. They can kind of be like the own X factor of the team, if you know, where it's like, oh, we got some weird shit that these other guys don't maybe want to deal with, but we have the morals to do it. I'll do some morally gray shit. And maybe Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, I don't really know her morality, but she might be in on it as well. Angela probably be in on it as well. So I have a good, it's all this, and it all will help make Falcon try to be the Captain America that he is inside his heart. Because I think Falcon is essentially, I see him as a Captain America now. He's not Steve Rogers, but, that was his chosen next step. And I think, I want to make him rethink about that decision. And so if he can get the Superior Spider-Man level-headed, then he can do anything. If he can get an evil white guy turned good white guy on his side, he can do anything. Now my rookies, technically 2, because they're a package deal. Hawkeye was from New Avengers. Ironheart was from the Champions. But I didn't want to add Miss Marvel because I still want the Champions and New Avengers to kind of exist. In fact, in my pitch, I want them to merge and take care of stuff on this Earth because I want this Avengers team to be not afraid to jump universe and jump world and jump time. For at least for a while. My rookie, now these people, these two, they kind of lost a place for a little bit right now, I think. I don't really know. But they're one, she's an inhuman, and the other one is a beast. It's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. But I want her to be a little bit older.
She's a moon woman.
She's still a girl. She's maybe like
Moon teen.
I don't know. Yeah, like maybe 16 to 17. I want this. It would be great if I could have like her in the book, the Avengers team grow kind of simultaneously. Like I want to see that development. I want eventually I want Moon Girl to become like an even bigger hero in her own right, and Devil Dinosaur to just be there. Plus, like, that's so fun.
Yeah, Devil Dinosaur. That's such an out-of-the-way choice. I really like that.
Yep. So that's the, official set team from the beginning. You got Falcon, Angela, Ironheart, Kate Bishop Hawkeye, Magic, Laura Kinney Wolverine, the Superior Spider-Man, and Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Now I have 2 extras. Extra number 1, she will join about 2 or 3 arcs into it when they realize they have to start jumping universes because there's some stuff going on, some fishy stuff. And we have Miss America joining the Avengers. So now we have someone that's essentially, she's not like Captain Marvel, but she's like, she's leading the Ultimates. And so the Ultimates have to disband temporarily because stuff is happening. And the Miss America is going to find her way to the Avengers, even though she said, you can never pay me enough to be on the Avengers. Well, I got her. And this last character is a bit of a weird choice. Now, I like a little chaos on my team. You remember I put Lobo in the Justice League. Mm-hmm. And there will be times where they have to go to universes, and they're just going to have to deal with a lot of weird shit. You know, we're going to need another morally gray character. And eventually I want to see this character, just see how he fits on the Avengers. He doesn't have to be there forever, but I want him to be a temporary member at least. And that is Moon Knight.
All right.
He has an interesting power set. He's not Batman. He has master martial arts training because he was in the military. But he also has multiple personality disorder, so that's fun.
Yeah, I definitely describe Moon Knight as Egyptian Batman with dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah, but he can be very useful because he can he has necromancy, lunakinesis, and geokinesis, and he has power absorption.
The heck's
so he's like, huh?
What's a lunar kinesis?
He can control different the universe's different moons and objects made out of them, which allowed him to take control of Mjolnir despite not being worthy.
I remember that Moon Knight just went around one time and knocked senseless a lot of people.
So he's like my real wild card. But yeah, my Avengers team is Falcon, Angela, Ironheart, Hawkeye, Magic, Wolverine, Laura Kinney, Superior Spider-Man, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, Miss America, and then Moon Knight.
Yeah, you got 2 moons on there. Also, I gotta say, this is another multiverse story you're trying to throw in.
Yes, it is. So what's your story pitch in your Avengers team called, Owen?
Ben Franklin, you discovered electricity.
No, something really shocking. Look, carefree sugarless gum here, Trident here.
Both cost the same, yet Carefree gives you 32% more gum by weight than Trident. And Carefree's taste electrifying.
Then the electricity.
I'll think about it in Washington, A.C.
That's Washington, D.C.
Get more gum with Carefree.
Now in bubblegum, too.
More gum.
Carefree sugarless gum.
All right. Like you want a title or
You can just be the Avengers, but
yeah, it's really just the Avengers. So I'll paint a little picture for you. So at the start of this team, both Trident and Human Torch aren't on yet. And here's why. Because at the start of the story, Black Panther hasn't publicly come out as the leader of the Avengers. Because like recently, like Iron Man left or something, and people are just like, oh yeah, like that was a few days ago. They're like, oh yeah, it's Captain America now. But Cap's like, no, T'Challa, I want you to be the leader because you'd be a great choice. But they just haven't said publicly yet for one reason or the other. Now, we start this whole shindig off in Adelan, which, well, if you don't know, is the city for the Inhumans and the Inhuman royal family on the moon. Now Medusa wakes up, and Black Bolt is missing. And then later, Triton, he's walking around, and he finds the body of Gorgon, one of the other Inhuman royal family members, supposedly dead. At the same time both of these happen, terrorist bombings go off all across Adelan with these like vibranium irradiated shockwaves that are like messing up people's minds and stuff. All this is happening. Medusa's freaking out because now she's the ruler and she ain't gonna take no crud from nobody. And everyone in the whole town is saying war on Wakanda because like who else would have access to this kind of vibranium bomb? So the Avengers are sent over to oversee discussion so that Wakanda and Adelan can both lay their stuff on the table and try to figure all of this. Now, as they're doing that, Kraven the Hunter and a group of Inhuman mercenaries attack the Wakandan palace and kill several senators. So now, Adelan has officially declared war on Wakanda. They start fighting a bit, and during all of this too, there's a lot of stuff going on at the same time, you know. So at the same time, Kraven and his dudes are coming in. There are a few Atlantean senators there who are like discussing trade and whatnot, because from what I can think of, Wakanda's kind of on the shore-ish, but like still very inland. So there's just like a big river going off into the ocean. So those guys also get killed during the attacks, along with Atuma, one of the villains that live near Atlantis. He's like the ocean master of Atlantis, kind of. So he is spiking the food in Atlantis with like Terrigen minerals that are making a bunch of Atlanteans sick and dying. And also because canonically now Terrigen mist is like killer to mutants.
yeah.
Since Namor is a mutant, he takes this as a very brash like assassination attempt on himself. Like, why are you giving my enemy Atuma so much Terrigen? So Atlantis declares war on Adelan. So now we have a three-way war with like the three strongest countries on the planet. In retaliation, sorry, I got a few of these scrambled up. So there's an inhuman siege that is suddenly going off on Wakanda. They've surrounded the whole force field, and they're able to like sneak people in and make them explode stuff and set things on fire. Also just like blocking off trade and whatnot. So in retaliation, Wakanda uses its satellites that it has around the globe as sort of a blockade for Atalan's forces and supplies because, you know, they're on the moon. Now, Namor is like, oh, these two countries, they're going to kill me. I got to go talk to my friends, the Fantastic Four. But only Johnny Storm is there. Because he's like, the other three are like, you know, diplomatic mission, another dimension, also another time stream. You know how it is with the Fantastic Four. And Johnny's got to be like, I don't know, because, like, we're friends with you, Namor, but we're also really close friends with Atalan and Wakanda, so it's really hard to pick a side. And the Avengers seem like the only neutral ground because they're trying to fix stuff and figure something out. So he's able to join the Avengers. At the same time, Medusa is like, hey, Triton, how about you join the Avengers too? And like keep an eye on them. Make sure they're not doing anything against our people. And if push comes to shove, you can just like telepathically call Lockjaw, and he'll send me and the rest of the human family out there, and we'll just ambush the Avengers and kill them. And Triton's like, well, all right. So Triton doesn't know that T'Challa is the leader. He just sees that Cap is. So that's a little bit of drama there. And also he's always trying to convince Johnny Storm, like, hey, man, we're buddies. What, like, you're lovers with my sister sometimes. What the heck, dude? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. So, the Avengers will split up. T'Challa asks Wasp, Beta Ray Bill, and the Human Torch to stay with him in Wakanda to kind of prevent any potential assassination attempts on himself, and also to investigate a few things. Vision, Scarlet Witch, and Triton are negotiating with Atalan, and then Captain America, Brother Voodoo, and She-Hulk are going to Atlantis to investigate a tomb of suppliers. So all this stuff is going on. It's a full-on war. I haven't thought out the rest yet. But eventually, this is a Doctor Doom plot, seconded by Maximus the Mad, Black Bolt's younger brother, who has like mind control powers and whatnot. So they schemed all this stuff up to make this three-way war happen so that all these countries go down in an instant. Maximus will have what remains of Atalan, while Doctor Doom takes Wakanda as New Latveria, since recently, like, his actual country of Latveria disowned him because he was being Doctor Doom. So that's my general story, is a Wakanda, Atalan, Atlantis war. And
that's actually pretty interesting.
And this team has to be just as political as they do, like, physical. So there's a lot of Game of Thrones stuff kind of going on.
Yeah. So, all right. I'm a big fan of the Marvel comic called Exiles.
I've heard about that one, yeah.
So they're X-Men from different universes, and they do stuff. There is a new publication of Exiles that said, you know what, it doesn't have to just be X-Men. For example, there was a brief second in issue 2 where you had Peggy Carter, Captain America. I have that cover. It's really that's really cool. Valkyrie's on it. And I wanted not that, because then I would just be making an Exiles team, right? But I was like, I want this team to be able to go to different universes and times and sort of help out. But they're not going just because they have to go somewhere. Like, something happened on this Earth. For example, the Avengers, the core Avengers team did something, and then they got, like, sucked into another, like, a hole or something. And then so there's, like, a temporal kind of dissonance where time seems like a little out of whack. people are like reverting to other versions of themselves and such. Not these people though, but that's kind of how I get Superior Spider-Man in. Is so this Spider-Man is he's done a couple universe hopping in his time. Superior Spider-Man ended, and then they brought him back for 2 Spider-Verses. So we have this guy webbing in from, because he knows something's up, and it almost seems like the root of it is this Earth. So he just kind of shows up, and he goes to the Avengers, and he is like, hey, what is going on? I need to speak to the Avengers. And all of a sudden they're like, listen, there is no Avengers right now. And he goes, what? There's no Avengers? That's impossible. And then the world gets a signal from Tony Stark from a future. He's old, grizzled, and there's a war going on behind him. We have no idea what's happening. And he says, we need these people to create a team. And Falcon is chosen to lead them, essentially. So this is how Falcon comes up. And Falcon's now involved, and he's been told, hey, like, you need to form an Avengers team now because Tony Stark kind of recruited you to do so. And he's like, well, I mean, I guess, we do have to find them. And if this is where they ended up, we have to get them back, because Steve's there too. And I need to get my friend Steve. So he goes, okay, we have a mission. So all of a sudden then you have other things that says, hey, Tony Stark has a little more into his message where it's like, hey, these people are like people that are considered to be a part of like a future Avengers initiative. And on that you get Ironheart, Hawkeye,
Moon Girl.
and even Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. And he says, well, a lot of these teams are kind of spread out, and we need to we need to create a core Avengers team. So Falcon recruits Ironheart, he recruits Hawkeye, and he recruits Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur reluctantly, super reluctantly. And then also from wherever she is at the moment, Angela steps in and she says, hey, like a lot of people went missing. My brother's now gone. Also, half of Asgard's people are gone. Like, there's a lot of weird shit going on. And she's, like, struggling with Sarah is a girl she's, like, kind of had a thing with. And she's gone. And, like, they kind of broke it up, but she still cares about her. And so she's like, I need, like, I don't know, like, we need to write this because people I know are disappearing. And I'm kind of want the realms to be okay. And then Falcon goes, great, you're our Thor then, essentially. So you have the Falcon, Angela, Ironheart, Hawkeye. And then they say, well, in the list that says, was there any potential people from other teams that were willing to join us? And it says, oh, look, there's a couple X-Men that he has that are like possible candidates for a contingency. And this, of course, is a contingency. And so they try to get a lot of X-Men, but the X-Men are like, hey, man, we have to deal with our own stuff. So we're like, we can't really help you out right now. We have to deal with what we have to deal with, but like, I guess we'll ask around and see who can help you. And then Magic steps up and she's like, hey, I can help. Like, these guys kind of have it covered. The X-Men crowd is a little crowded right now. There's a lot of them. If I can do you guys any help, I would love to. And they go, great. And they go, hey, is that Laura Kinney? She's Wolverine's daughter. She's kick-ass, right? And Wolverine's like, yeah, I am kick-ass. And also, my clone Gabby is missing, and I need to help find her, so I'm going to go with you guys. And then Falcon's like, okay, I guess we have everyone. Now, obviously, it won't happen exactly like that, but you get the gist.
Yeah.
Tony sends a message from the future. He's in like this distraught, war-torn place. They don't know where it is. They had a temporal dissonance, and there's like something wrong with the multiverse, but we don't know. And essentially, what this Avengers team does as a step one is to find out what happened in this universe. That's the issue, and whatever that is, that's what that happens. And then they need to jump to other universes. And so you have Superior Spider-Man being like, hey, like I've gone to other universes before, but I'm not the spider folk that had the capability to do that. So then they need to find someone who can, and they get Miss America. And then Miss America's like, I can help you like universes and stuff because I'm from a pocket dimension, but like it's going to be kind of tough. And then Magic goes, wait a minute. I have like a pocket dimension where I'm Sorcerer Supreme, so let's go there and we can do stuff. So they do that, and eventually they branch out and they try to find other places that have been attacked the same way this dimension has been attacked. So they're sprawling out over universes, even going back in time and doing stuff. And then eventually they like get Moon Knight in there because he's fun.
Yeah.
And eventually we'll find out that I don't have like a core set villain per se, but obviously it's someone that, I mean, I guess it could be like a variant of Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, I was going to say, it could be like Kang or Ultron or something like that.
It could be even just, I also have, I just pulled up the Avengers from Earth 14325. I want an evil Avengers team to sort of be behind it.
Ooh, the Nega Avengers.
Yeah, and they've like kidnapped and taken the other Avengers. And they also, it was the bad Tony Stark that actually sent a message, because if these people die, the hope for any future Avengers team just is like gone. Because if you lose Falcon, you lose the next Captain America. If you lose Ironheart, you lose the next Iron Man. You lose Angel, you have one of the toughest Asgardians you have left. You lose some of these people, not exactly, but like it's targeting those people. And Miss America, she's like a big thing. So it's kind of saying that, oh, these people are important. It's kind of like the reverse of Legends of Tomorrow, where it's like, oh, you guys aren't actually important, but you're going to make yourself important, where it's instead of it's like, oh, guess what? I chose you guys specifically because if then I can kill you and then I can like take over your universe and we can beat the Avengers and we can lead, because you guys always seem to be at the center of these multiversal issues. So if we can control you, we're going to become we're going to take over the multiverse one universe at a time.
Yeah. It's like Nega Avengers and like Kang. And a few things kind of sound like more Luna and the Inheritors from the Spider-Verse storyline, where they're like jumping dimensions and all that.
Yeah, so you find out that, but there's actually something else behind the scenes, holding the strings. But I can't tell you what it is, Owen.
Because
it's a surprise for next episode.
Well, alrighty then. So yeah, that is our teams, and that is our stuff. Is there anyone that Austin? Is there anyone that you took off of this team to make room for others?
I took out Wiccan. I originally had shoot. I'm forgetting who I had. I had the Human Torch because I was like, Fantastic Four. But I actually think it'd be cool if the Fantastic Four were just also exploring these issues. Like they could help. Like it'd be like the Avengers. They take care of this universe, but then it's like, but we need people that can like actually be here and take care. And then the Fantastic Four, and then the Champions and New Avengers and the X-Men are like, well, hey, they have us. Right, so you guys can be like, we'll be fine. You guys go and find out the root of this issue. And Miss America's like, yeah, and like for space, they have the Guardians. Angela could be like, yeah, they have the Guardians. And then Miss America's like, yeah, and I'll leave the Ultimates and like Blue Marvel's control or whatever, because it seems like you guys really need my help, and like I guess I can help. But yeah, I also like wanted like just a diverse cast. I almost put Blue Marvel because I knew about him. For my muscle. I almost put the Thing with the same idea as kind of like Human Torch, where it's like, I have one Fantastic Four member because the other ones are missing. But I was like, nah. Like I said, I thought about Spider-Man 2099 or Scarlet Spider instead of Superior. I had Spider-Gwen because she actually jumps universes. But I like Superior Spider-Man way more. I almost put Rogue in, because she's just a badass. But if we ever do an X-Men thing, obviously these stories my stories in the Marvel universe have to be concurrent. And so I would have Rogue as part of the X-Men team, part of the people that went, listen, we got our own stuff to deal with.
Yeah,
but here's Wolverine and Magic.
Yeah.
Leaving you in good hands.
Pretty cool. I almost had Wonder Man on my team. Simon Williams. I almost had him. I was like he'd be a fun muscle, and it'd be kind of interesting for him and Vision to interact, since Vision is partially made from Simon Williams' personality and all that. For his essence, I forget what the explanation was. I was like, no, I need the Human Torch on this team, because you can't have the kind of story I have without involving the Fantastic Four, because all three of these countries are very heavily cemented in it. And I figured I kind of have She-Hulk as that, because I don't know if you remember, but for a very short time, She-Hulk was Thing's replacement on the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
The Thing was on the that planet in Secret Wars, the original story. And I figured, no, it'd be funny to have Human Torch on here, because he's the least politically experienced member. Even the Thing knows a few more things about the Avengers and everything that's going on than he does. And then other than that, it seemed pretty standard. I added Brother Voodoo last night, because I kind of figured, Scarlet Witch is already on there. And I was like, no, I think I'd like somebody from the actual Doctor Strange family. I know that Scarlet Witch is kind of a part of it now in a lot of stories. I figured, hey, let's get either Wong or Brother Voodoo on this team. And then I read about Brother Voodoo, and I was like, all right, this guy's going to be good. So that was the basics for my team. Austin, what did you think about my stuff? And would you read my comic about a three-way war between...
Oh, yeah. I actually have a pitch for DC Comics. It's very similar, where it's the Mascara, the United States, and Atlantis, kind of in a tussle.
Yeah, that's almost like what led into Flashpoint.
Kind of, yeah. That's kind of what I was going for. But also, I think in Aquaman Rebirth, there's tensions there. And one time I made a pit, or we're bored and we nerds, we write stuff a lot. I wrote out kind of a plot-ish thing for a Justice League animated series. If I had my own universe to just write from the ground up. And Aquaman and Wonder Woman are on there specifically for, because, the Justice League is essentially the UN.
Yeah.
And Aquaman, but also heavily attached to the U.S., so Aquaman is on there to be that person. And I also had Mara join in, because I think Mara should be doing more stuff.
Yeah, Mara is going to do more stuff over the recent years.
Which is glad. I actually have a miniseries, Mara, Queen of Atlantis, I think that's what it's called. I have all 5 issues. Yeah, I like that. I like the politics stuff. Mine is definitely very similar to my Justice League story.
Yeah, both your stories are not only multidimensional, but they also focus around how this team is formed. Your team is formed kind of gradually over your whole story. Mine's are more this is the already set team, and we're going to add a few just at the beginning and then throw them into this.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting. I definitely give yours a read. You're who is this? From Spawn. That's interesting. It's a very interesting choice. And frankly, I'd like to see Chris Hemsworth Thor go up against a Jamie Foxx Spawn, just for the heck of it. I think that'd be pretty sweet. Oh yeah, very interesting.
Well, she's technically she's from the Marvel Comics universe now, but the rights, she was originally a character from Spawn.
Yeah, the team roster was also really interesting. I like the idea of Falcon trying to cobble together all these kind of newer heroes and bring them to this team. That was spot on. Great idea about them being like the newer Avengers and from the future and all that.
Yeah, it was kind of like eventually Tony, or my original thought was, well, I want the new Avengers and Avengers to mix because I want youngins and new blood, but I also want some X-Men and I want at least one Inhuman, and I don't know that many Inhumans, and I was like, well, I know Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Yeah.
Yeah, Inhumans get a lot of flack.
And I didn't want to put Miss Marvel because I wanted her to like, I still want the champions to be a thing.
Yeah, totally understandable. Yeah, dude, that quick tangent. That Marvel Avengers game that's coming out on the PS4/PS5. That's this September.
Really? That's in 2 months?
Yeah, it's gonna be sweet. And this is like public news and stuff. The main villain, it's MODOK.
It's MODOK?
It's MODOK. MODOK and Aim are the main villains of the game. And I love it. Every single minute of it.
Oh my god.
I know. I was reading about that just the other day. And it was like if you buy the PS4 version of the Avengers and then you get a PS5, you can easily put that game onto there. And it'll like update itself to be a PS5 version, no charge.
Oh, that's awesome.
I thought that was really nice. That was real sweet of them. And
There's a couple of nice guys they are. Nice guys and gals.
yeah, there's a kind of a multiplayer, I think, in the like the main story. But details on that were fuzzy at best. But yeah, it looks so much fun. And we have Miles Morales coming out on PS5 also this holiday. Like that's just a double Marvel whammy right there.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Avengers, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 J Leaguers.
Yeah, I've got 10 on my team too, and I'm pretty sure I have 10 on my other team.
Yeah.
Dang, right.
I definitely think in terms of which ones make more sense, my Justice League makes more sense. But, you know, technically, this works too.
Oh, well. Question of the day. What did you guys think? Would you read our stuff? Let us know below, if you please. Please.
Which team do you think would win in a fight?
It's interesting. I mean, my money is on my team, specifically just for Beta Ray Bill being there.
I have Miss America and Angel that can probably take care of him.
Yeah, well, I got Scarlet Witch and Brother Voodoo.
Oh yeah, you're right. Magic cannot handle both of them.
Yeah.
Surprise twist. Superior Spider-Man wins it for me. Just because he loves me so much, because I love him.
Mm-hmm.
I almost had him and Spider-Gwen on the team, but then I was like, nah.
Yeah,
I almost had her as my rookie.
Yeah, that was a fun thing putting Moon Knight in, because I've only read him from the Ultimate Spider-Man comics. And that really hooked me in for the Moon Knight stuff.
Yeah, I want to read more Moon Knight. I almost put like Daredevil in here, but like, I think we should like the Defenders. You know, they're doing their stuff.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, did we just get some chair pedal in action right there?
Yeah. Because
going back is worse. You should have turned her around and then flung back.
All right, let's see here. Aim this.
We did it. Hello there.
Oh. Yeah, I was just looking at which volume Moon Knight first shows up in the Ultimate Spider-Man. It's volume 14.
Jesus, 14.
Yeah, 14, man. It's pretty cool. So,
All right. Well, question of the day. What's your Avengers team?
yeah, using our rules. Or
Yeah.
using Geek History Lessons rules.
Yeah. Give them a like and a subscribe, but also, please, we need it more.
Yeah, we could use it a bit more. We'd love the support.
Commenting is fun, too, AJ.
Yeah,
Comment on this video.
AJ or Z or random spam person. Please.
Well, AJ is also the name of our fans. Remember, they're AJs.
That's right. They are AJs. All you AJs, comment down, like, subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, pretty easy. Doesn't cost a darn thing. And
remember that this is my microphone.
that is his microphone. This is my cup, and that is his microphone.
And this has been MoonTown. Catch you later.
Catch you next time when we make a story about the Avengers and Justice League coming together for something. We'll figure it out.